Hello everybody, I hope you are safe and well. This is the last PowerPoint, hopefully, for criminology this week and the work we are looking at this week and for the summer holidays. Obviously, we hope that we will be returning fully to college in September, so no more need for any of this. So what I'm going to go through today is what we want you to do this week, and then what we want you to do in the summer holidays, and then thinking about what you need to do in preparation for coming back to college in September. Okay, so in the last couple of weeks you have been looking at careers you can do with criminology qualifications, and most recently you've been looking at how to look up criminology courses through the UCAS website. So regardless of whether you apply for criminology at university or not, you are going to have to do a personal statement. Now, the personal statement usually fills most students with horror because you have to write about yourself, and this is quite a tricky thing to do. None of us like showing off and saying how marvellous and enthusiastic we all are, but the university admissions tutor will read your personal statement, and you need to have a paragraph on criminology, regardless of whether you are applying for criminology or related degrees at a higher level. So first of all, in terms of order, if you are applying for criminology, then you writing about your diploma course is going to be the most significant thing you are going to do. If, however, you are applying for other types of courses, maybe, I don't know, maths or English, biology, then the criminology paragraph will come further down in your statement. Now, I've given you here a number of different things you could include. I'm not going to read them out, but I think it's really important that you link your skills that you've gained in criminology to whatever course you are applying for. So, for example, your IT skills may have significantly improved as a result of doing the Unit 1 campaign work. Also, we've done a lot of research online, and whilst we have given you the websites to have a look at, you do have to wade your way through a huge amount of information and succinctly bring out the most significant points. These are all really useful skills for going to university and higher level study. Obviously, the experience of COVID-19 and working from home will have improved massively your motivation levels, hopefully, and your ability to do independent learning. Now, these will be really important when you go to university. So all of those skills that you have gained in the last year will stand you in good stead. So what you need to do is write this paragraph and really enthuse about what skills, what abilities, what knowledge your criminology course has given you. So the summer holiday is a time to make sure you've caught up on all the essential tasks. So we need you to make sure you have completed 1.1, which is the roles involved in investigative techniques. You need to make sure you've got 4 or 5 of those written up really, really well. Now, Kim has already sent out to you a feedback PowerPoint and given you the opportunity to do dirt improvements. We've tried to do sessions with you over Microsoft Teams. It is really important that you work on those evaluations, not just the descriptions. Equally, we have covered 3 of the 6 sections you need for AC 1.2, which is the investigative techniques. And again, Kim has sent out to you the feedback PowerPoint and made some suggestions about how you can improve your work. Now, some of you have already done write-ups for 1.2, but we're now asking in the summer holidays you write up the 3 sections on 1.2 as well. Now, we want you to bring that work with you to your first lesson back in September. this is going to be checked, okay? I can guarantee that, and you're going to find yourself in quite a lot of trouble if you haven't got that work achieved as a minimum, please. I'll talk a little bit more about returning to college at the end of this presentation. For many of you then, the summer holidays is a welcome break to, get some sunshine, meet your friends, and, have a bit of a relaxing time. There is plenty though that you can be doing to keep yourselves occupied and interested in criminology. And these are things you could obviously add to your UCAS personal statement. Now, if it is possible to visit the Crown Court in Sheffield or one nearer where you live, and or the Magistrates Court, then this is a fantastic thing to get done. We find it very difficult as a college to get this organised. Taking large numbers of people to the courts is problematic for the courts. Taking you out of lessons is obviously problematic for your teachers who get cross with us for doing it. So get yourselves to the courts and watch what goes on. Now, just a couple of tips about this. I wouldn't bother go on a Friday, because certainly in the Crown Court they try and wind up for the week by Friday lunchtime and start new cases on Monday. So I would avoid Fridays. Now, secondly, if you go to the Magistrates Court, you will see a much quicker turnover of cases. They tend to be done and dusted all in one go. So that is obviously interesting to watch. Having said that, they are going to be the low level what we call summary cases. So you're going to see a lot of driving offences, a lot of assaults, shoplifting, all the petty stuff, all the minor crimes. Now, magistrates do have the power to send people to prison, but the more juicy cases perhaps are going to be in the Crown Court. But the Magistrates Court, you'll see that really quick turnover of cases. Now, if you go to the Crown Court, you will see the more serious cases. Some of these could be really unpleasant, so be warned of that. But you'll probably only get an insight into what goes on, because Crown Court cases can go on for a number of days. So you'll just see a partial part of that case being carried out. A couple of health warnings here. You will sit in the public gallery. Remember, you're going to be sitting with either the victims of the crime, who are going to be upset and be out for blood, or you're going to be sitting with the relatives of the person who is accused, and they are equally going to be frustrated and angry and, want the best for the person that they are there to help. So you're sitting in between two essentially enemy camps. So don't say anything to anybody. Don't misbehave in the courts, because if you really cheese off the judge or the magistrate, you wouldn't want to get yourself in trouble with them. You basically sit there, you be quiet, you keep your phone off, and if you've got anything to say it outside of the court to your mates. Do not get involved in any discussions inside of the courts, please. Having said that, it's a fabulous opportunity to see justice in process. Now, if you haven't already taken advantage of it, the documentaries we've got recorded on the TRC TV player are really good. So you can access that through the LRC website, you can access that through Moodle, and I would thoroughly recommend the trial. It's 5 1-hours program to do with the workings of a proper trial. That's worth watching if you don't get to the Crown Court. But we've also got the series from Channel 4, Crime and Punishment and Life After Lockup. They again are really good insights into how the system works or doesn't work. And then we've also got the prosecutors, which is to do with the work of the CPS and how they work with other institutions and organisations to bring about justice for the victims of crime. Any of those are really excellent watches, okay? Okay, slightly more long term then. Let's think about returning to college in September. First of all, do try and be really positive about this. None of us know the future, whether we'll be back in lockdown or local lockdowns. Let's just hope we're going to be back inside college full time, doing proper lessons and no longer stuck at home. Now, one thing I need to remind you of is that lessons will mainly be classroom based. We're not going to be in the computer rooms. We don't need to be in the computer rooms full time. So you will need to be prepared for that, and that means you're going to need a folder, you're going to need paper and pens and any equipment you would normally have for a lesson. Now we do have upper six textbooks. We're going to try and get everybody an upper six textbook, A, because it's good for you to have at home, and you can bring it backwards and forwards to college. It means it's your book rather than using books which everybody uses. That would hopefully try and reduce the risk of catching anything nasty. And it also means that if we are going to return to lockdown at some point, you've got a textbook at home. So that is how we're going to try and work. Now, obviously, some of you might feel more comfortable bringing in your own laptop. That's great as well. We can work with that. But obviously, remember, college Wi-Fi is not as good as maybe it should be. So, you know, just bear that in mind when you are hoping to do your work at college. Now, you are going to need a folder, and you are going to need to print everything off to go into that folder for Unit 3 controlled assignment, okay? Because that's the way the assignment works. It's very similar to Unit 1. Everything goes in your folder. You take that folder into the exam. So what we need you to do is, for your first lesson back, we physically want to see either a written out copy of AC 1.1 and 1.2 as it stands so far, with 3 of the 6 sections. We will be checking that, and if you haven't done it, we're going to be putting you into study halls and giving you extra support, because we can't, you know, just keep giving you extra time to complete this work. As a class, you need to have completed AC 1.1 and the 3 sections of AC 1.2. When we come back, we will have a transition lesson. We'll give you an introduction to the work that is going to happen this year, but you know, at some point we have to move on. We are going to be doing the Unit 3 assessment in the last week of term in December. We've got that in the calendar, and you know, at some point you have to take responsibility for your learning and understand that we can't just keep treading water waiting for you to sort of finally pull your finger out and get on with the work that you should have already completed. So be warned, okay? If you don't do the work, you are going to find yourself effectively having all your spare time taken up in study hall in college. So I just want to say, it's been a mad year, hasn't it? It's been a crazy year. None of us could have predicted how crackers it was actually going to be. Over the summer holidays, first of all, keep safe, okay? You know, keep, you know, all the hygiene regimes going. If you're not very well, stay at home. You know the drill. None of us want any of you to come down with this horrid virus, and you know, potentially, you know, have a really horrible summer. So do keep safe, please. Okay. I'm a great believer in, you know, enjoying the summer holidays, getting some sunshine, getting some fresh air, having a proper break from routines, because we've all had a pretty tough time in the last 4 months. And I think it's really important you do get a break from your work, if you can, and be happy and satisfied that you've done the work you need to do to come back in September, so you're fresh and ready to go. Okay. I think it's also really important to try and keep positive and plan for the future, and just, you know, try and sort of remain really sort of enthusiastic about, you know, where your life is going to take you in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. So please, you know, try and remain positive and not too gloomy about what the future might bring. That's also really important, thinking about your results in the summer. You're in an unusual position as lower six students that you are going to get a certificate result. None of us have got any control over that. I think worry is a wasted emotion, in a sense that we can't do anything about those certificate results. And we'll explain to you in September, in your first lesson back, what those results mean, and you know, how you can improve for the diploma. And like I say, please don't worry. There is everything to play for next year. The certificate results are what they're going to be. And we'd like to think of it as a fresh start in September. You know, for some of you, you know, this year's been a bit of a wake-up call. You now got a hang on or how the course works. You know, and it will be a fresh start in September. I can absolutely promise you that. The final thing I'd like to say is, I don't know if you're aware, but Kim is leaving, and she has been an absolute powerhouse in terms of, all the resources, all the results she has achieved in the last year and 2 years that she's been with us. All the resources pretty much for the first year course she has prepared and sorted out, and she has been an absolute powerhouse in terms of all the work that's been done for the criminology course. So if you do get a chance to see her this week, sort of thank her, and we're very much going to miss her, but wish her good luck in her new promotion. It's well deserved. So like I say, keep safe, be good, and we'll see you in September.